All right, good morning, guys. Today is March 22nd, and as usual, we'll be going over US 30 gold and EU trades. Yesterday, we had 3 wins and one loss that we were able to recover. So the loss was again a filler trade. And beginning today, I did say that we'll start focusing more on risk percentages other than pips. So I did send a screenshot in the group of what I mean by risk percentage. So for like a 200K account, I plan to have, so my filler lots for a 200K account will be like a 5 lot. And because our stop loss is 50 pips on US 30, a 5 lot with 50 pips is 0.125%. So you don't have to use 50 pips, but whatever you do, so if you want to have a larger stop loss with a 5 lot and still risk 0.125, like for example, if you want to risk 0.125 and have a 100 pip stop loss on US 30, you just need to have a 2.5 lot size. And also Dean did say that there's a tool called InvestSoft on MT4 on the MetaTrader store that allows you to enter trades based on risk. So I just want us to focus more on growing the percentages as opposed to money, because one thing I've noticed over time is that when you focus on money too much, sometimes you either get, and this is where the psychology comes in, you either get numbed by large amounts or small amounts. So remember, we only need 0.5% a day to pass phase one in 2.5 weeks. So our goal here will be making 0.5 to 1% a day. So whether you're focusing, so if you focus primarily on that percentage, you should be able to not worry about it. So long as you manage risk, always have your stop loss ready and all of that. And beginning, of course, next week, I did say that I'll be starting to record our daily percentages, gain or loss on a spreadsheet that's going to be shared with everybody. So that way we can be able to track, like, on a weekly basis, what percentage of money are we looking to make. So keep in mind, so for example, we have a lot of trading instruments or investment instruments out there, like bonds, even the stock market. So let's see, for example, the average return on bonds, average. So the average annual return for bonds, you have like 1.6%. Average annual return on international stocks is 5.8%, right? So if you have like a 100K account and invest average with international stocks, you're gonna get around 6%, let me say 5 to 10% a year. So if we're aiming for 0.5% a day, you see we're doing better than a bunch of these other instruments. So, there's no need of trying to make 10%, especially if you don't have any good entries. No need to try and make like 10%. And right now I'm just talking because the market has just opened, so we need to give the market some time to stabilize. So, but I just want to show you guys, so let's see. 2021 return for this one was 26%. So with a 100K account, this would have been what? This is this is like 25K a year from a 100K account. If we make like 0.5% per day, that is what, 2.5, that's 10%. So for us, we're looking to make about 5 to 10% a month. So in a year, if we're on average, if we take the 5%, if we're making 5% a month, in a year, we are looking to make 60%. So you see, we'll be doing ideally better than this category of the US large cap stocks. So no need to try, and our growth, our vision here, or my vision for this particular group, is to grow, have steady gains that can enable you to eventually retire and live out of your own income from trading. So we're not going to be able to achieve that if we are trying to go for like 10% gain in one specific day. Okay, so for US 30, what do we have? We have a weekly high here. we have an area, and keep in mind today we also have FOMC, which is later on in the afternoon. So if you guys are available, I can do a live session for FOMC. So if you guys are available to do that, we can trade together or see how the market moves during then. So just let me know if you guys are down for that. Right now, right now, what do we have? US 30 is about or is coming to form a death cross on the 5-minute. So we have this high low that has been broken. So currently I am bearish on US 30. So I have this trend line drawn up. If we go to the 1-minute, you'll see that that trend line is holding. So that's perfect. So what do we anticipate here? We anticipate that this is going to be a lower high. So the perfect entry, and you see we have a 30-minute bearish high and bearish low. So what I'll do here, I will do this, change this to red. So for a sell on US 30, we need a retest of the trend line. That's the perfect entry. And for this particular trade, I'll be risking 0.375. No, that's a buy. So this is remember when I talk about optimal sells, so I'll be risking, so of course our stop loss is 50, take profit is 50. So 50 pips. This is the optimal sell, a retest of the trend line. But so we can either have a retest of the trend line right now, or we can have a retest of the trend line down here, which will line up with a 30-minute bearish high and low area. So, so we'll just leave this marked up around there. Just a second. So we'll just leave this marked up around there. So if price does come up here and retest exactly, let's say, so you can see price already retested the 30-minute bearish low to the pip. So this is what I want to see for this area. So if price comes up here and retests the 30-minute bearish high and rejects to the bottom or in the middle of this zone, we can enter this sell early at that point. When we go to I'm sorry, I'm moving stuff around. When we go to gold, let's see what we have on gold. So gold, yesterday I did say that, so we did not get a retracement that would have allowed us to sell. So we were bearish on gold. So afterwards, 2 days ago, we caught this buy to the upside to complete this head and shoulders, left shoulder, head, right shoulder that was created, and then it did drop. So if you guys remember yesterday, I said that gold will come around this area. But gold is ideally looking to complete this structure to the downside. So the best buy on gold will be around 1914 area. But right now, gold is in a demand zone, right here. And you can see it rejected from, if we look to the left of this chart, it rejected from this. So we have an hourly bullish low, hourly bullish high zone. So I do see gold coming up and tapping this sell zone right here around 1946 and dropping all the way back down. So we have an hourly bullish high and we have an hourly bullish low. So right here, I do see a possibility of riding gold up to 1945. But let's see how this candle will close. So you see this particular 5-minute candle is testing the 9 EMA. So if this candle closes above the hourly bullish high, I'll get into a small buy on gold. Remember for gold, is 50 pips stop loss. So let me open that up. So, and always have a stop loss, right? Always have a stop loss. So for this one, let's see, 30 seconds. Yeah, so it looks good for a buy, but I need this candle to close above that hourly bullish high. For this trade also, our risk 0.125. So 50 pips stop loss, 50 pips take profit. Let's see, where's my goal? 0.5. So I need a candle to close above the hourly bullish high. So we can go to the 1 minute and see what's going on. For US 30, let me set the alert for so that we can get if price is crossing above the 9 EMA. So that's fine. Okay, and we can see right here. Okay, so I'll just hold off on that. I need a candle to close above the hourly bullish high. So that's fine. Let gold do whatever it wants to do. I will set an alert also for gold in order not to miss that trade. So EU, so what do we have on EU? So EU yesterday, it triggered, and I missed this daily bullish low yesterday because when I sent the trade ideas in the Discord yesterday, or the markups, EU was, so these are the markups for yesterday, 321. It was literally above the daily bullish low. So one thing I realized is that, and that's on me, I kind of forgot to start blocking in this bullish highs and bullish lows into boxes. So right now EU is headed to a daily bullish low, but as you can see, right, this daily bullish low was already tested yesterday. This is the 5 minutes. So price went up beginning yesterday, yeah, because this is when the live started yesterday. Oh, I'm sorry, 8 a.m. yesterday. So it went up, came back down, came back up, peak liquidity, I think during London, and then went all the way to the middle. So this blue line right here shows the middle of the daily bullish high and daily bullish low. So you can see price went all the way there and came back up. Now for any other buy on EU, like a confirmed buy, it would have to close above this zone, the middle zone. So for any buy on EU, it would be have to close above 1.07975. So but what do we have? Let's see if we have bearish zones, and you can see how far EU is up there. So we do have this bearish zone. It's a supply zone right here. So it's a supply zone within a supply zone. So this candle closed below the 9 EMA. So I need a retest. And you can see this is an hourly bearish high. So personally, what I'm gonna do is so given how far EU is all the way up. So if EU, I just want to see what would happen if EU were to break this zone. Yeah, so this is a tricky trade. So because we have an hourly bearish high, hourly bearish low, and we do have a daily bullish high and bullish low area. So, and for me, daily areas supersede any lower time frame areas, but we do have a sell with a supply zone within a supply zone. We do have a death cross coming into the 5 minute. So for here, I will look to sell EU if we get a retest of the hourly bearish high or the 9 EMA. So just a second, I see a trend forming here. Let's see. The trend line. So this is a hanging trend line. I anticipate this to be established as a lower high. Yeah, so EU and US 30, I'm bearish on those two. So I need, okay, there we go. US 30 is coming back up. That's perfect. EU and US 30, I'm anticipating them to drop. So on the 1 minute, this has been established. It's not a lower high. So we have a lower high here, but this one is a higher high. That's fine. So on the 5 minute, I'm looking for this to be established as a lower high. So I'm expecting this trend line to hold. So where would be the best place to sell EU? So in my instance, I see price retesting this 9 EMA, which will line up with the hourly bearish high and the 5 minute candle closing below there. So for EU also, I will turn on my alert because I want to see when price will close above the 9 EMA, because I do see price closing above the 9 EMA and then retesting the trend line. So we will just leave a short position up here. So for this one, 20 pips stop loss, 20 pips take profit. Okay, no, that's 2 pips. And for EU, for FX pairs, and you can see how big that stop loss. Oh, it's not big. It's 20 pips. So for this one, personally, I risk 0.5%. Is it 0.5? Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, 0.5%. And I'm basing this off of, so it doesn't matter whether it's a 200K or 100K. So that's another thing why I want us to focus on risk percentages, because people now don't have to ask me what lot size do you have to use for EU or whatnot. So this trade 0.5% risk for EU. So I need a retest of that trend line to sell. For US 30, this trade, what did I say I was going to risk? I said I was going to risk 0.375%. Okay, and there you go with that manipulation. Perfect. So remember, our perfect entry, optimal entry, is a retest of that trend line. Now, if we do get, so let's see how price is reacting in this zone. So remember, we always have to wait. The only times I don't really wait for price to close is a retest of the trend line. So that's the times, sometimes I'll hop in on impulse on a trend line, but that's when I'm ideally recovering a trade. So this is perfect. Let price stay there. So for this particular candle, we need to see how price reacts in this zone. And the best way to see that is on the 1 minute. So you'll see price reacting. So if I do get a 1 minute candle that comes back down, retest the 30-minute bearish high to the pip, see like how this one retested, like this is what I want. I want a candle coming back up here, retesting the 30-minute bearish high on the 1 minute, and then closing below, and then at that point, then I can sell US 30. But let it just, so it might be this candle that's coming up. So, and we definitely also have a trend line up here from way back that's holding price to the downside. Let me see if I can get that trend line indicator from yesterday. It was the 5001. Oh no. Second. So no rush today. We have FOMC later, so no need to force anything. So it's ideally just patience. If something doesn't line up, no need to rush it. And we already have our alerts set up. So, okay, perfect. All right, I need a perfect retest. Let's go back to the 5 minute, see what's going on. Okay, on the 5 minute, we are possibly getting, so this would be 63, 63, 65. Yeah, so this would, if it closes as a bearish, inverted bearish hammer candle, I will be entering that trade. So let's see. So we either need, so we have an hour 40, I'm sorry, a minute 40. So we either need the perfect retest of the 30-minute bearish high, or at this point, the 30-minute bearish low, a perfect retest and closure below. Or we need this 5-minute candle to close as an inverted bearish hammer, which is ideally happening. EU, so gold. I did say gold, I was taking a buy if it closes above. I'm surprised these alerts are not. Okay, this will be interesting. Out of the thought that this alert for gold would have taken off. That's fine. Okay, so this is where it gets tricky. So for gold, if we're looking for a buy here, so gold is the only bullish one that I'm seeing. EU and US 30 to me are bearish. If this closes, I'm not taking it. It's too big of a hammer candle, quote unquote. At the very least, I'll wait for a retest of this red trend line, which will align with the 30-minute bearish low. So that is too big of a bearish candle for me to take a sell on. Okay, so for this gold one, I said I'll take that. I'll take with a 0.125 risk. So I will use, for me, it's a 0.5 lot size. So if I lose, I only lose, and I'm but I need it to close above the hourly bullish high. And I'm not sure if that's gonna happen. Yeah, that's not gonna happen for that candle. So I'll leave that. If I lose, if I miss this US 30 trade, that's fine. So remember, we still have this trend line up here. Price, and there you go, higher high. This got established as a lower high. So for me, I still expect price to come back up here. Now, if price comes back up here, then maybe I can enter on an impulse sell because the lower high has already been established. So this is no longer a hanging trend line. So this is an established trend line on the 5-minute. So no, not to worry that price went away without us. So that's fine. Even so, this is why you need to wait for the closure of this 5-minute candles, because remember, for any buy on this gold, we want price to close above the hourly bullish high. EU for me again still, and there you go. EU has already established this as an actual trend line. So we have a higher high, lower high. So we need the retests, which will line up with the hourly bearish high. So this is perfect for me. So, and I hope these alerts are really gonna fire, because they should have fired. All right, so let US 30 do what it's gonna do. If it drops without us, no big deal. But keep in mind, we're gonna have liquidity dying at around maybe 10:30. I don't know if there's any other news today, but from 10:30 to 11, or let's say 11 onwards, we'll probably have liquidity dying in the market as people try to stay away from trades, and that will be before FOMC. That's why I really don't want to force any trade right now. And if you guys are down to trade during FOMC, it's better to save margin until then. Oh, and congrats to Dean. I know Dean ideally maxed out the funded trader. So he passed phase twos of what was that, 300K. So congrats. So whether you use our strategies or not, like, the goal is for everybody to pass. And if you can use even one of my strategies to supplement what you already have, that's happiness for me. And look at that, if we entered that buy on gold on impulse, we would have been in drawdown at this point. So no need to force any trade. So let's see, we might get a bullish hammer candle here. But for me, for gold, I need closure above the hourly bullish high. And also, Livy, I know you've been improving so much and getting the trades right, especially with the trend lines. So whatever it is you're doing, I mean, I've seen growth from everybody, and people start, learning from the bottom up. So it just goes to show that if you put energy and time into this, you're gonna be able to make it. So whether you got funded, whether you're still trying to get funded, whether you've narrowed down either of our strategies, ideally, congrats to you
That
guys.
was a serious rejection from the 30 and the 15 minute on gold right there
Yeah.
on the
What was
markups.
Yeah, like bullish. Yeah, but personally, I don't trade them. Now this one, yes, maybe I would have traded because they're both of them, because it's a 30 minutes. Yeah, that would have been a good one. Um, yeah, normally I just subconsciously avoid them, but you're right. So the only times I don't trade them is if they're by themselves. So like a 30-minute by itself, a 15-minute by itself. But yeah, so in this instance, this could have been a buy here at 1939. Um, but if this now, we need a good closure above here, and then they'll probably they'll retest the 9 EMA. And then now I'm pretty sure at this point, we're gonna get a good ride to the top to like this sell zone right here around 1946. So still 37 seconds. So let's see how that goes. If this closes above here, I will enter again, only risking 0.125. So for me, that on a 200K, that is a 5 lot. So 50 pips stop loss, 50 pips take profit. But I need a retest. So I'm not gonna take it on impulse. I'm gonna wait for it to come back down. I'm not gonna wait for a closure or anything. I will enter on impulse on the retest of the hourly. So it's just okay. US 30 is coming back up. There you go. Perfect. EU is coming back to the trend line. Perfect. Gold. Let's see. So again, only risking 0.125% for gold. For US 30, I'll be risking 0.375. So on a 200K with a 50 pip stop loss, that is a 15 lot. So US 30 is still a while to go. EU, again for EU for this one, what am I risking again? Let's see, hourly bearish high. For EU, I'm risking 0.5. Yeah, EU, I'm risking 0.5%. All right, so what I'll do here, I will draw this as a hanging trend line. All right. See gold. I need that retest. EU still just patience, But you can see this candle is testing the hourly bearish high. So some of these trades, let's see the difference, 829, 847. So for some of these trades, especially EU, you're not gonna lose too much by just going 1 pip down. But for me, I'm looking for the ideal entry. And we've seen those entries come to us. So for you guys, for these markups, for me, I just try to get the best entries. You can always enter on impulse or anything if the trade lines up. But for me, especially for a day like today, I am just interested in perfect entries. The other thing I'm thinking, if we expect price to go up here, we can get a trade to ride price up, but that again would be a risky trade. So, and there's this trend line. Yeah, I'm not going to force anything. Okay. If they go away, that's fine. But I still see US 30 and EU tapping the trend line. So that is ideally what I'm waiting for. Gold, I'm waiting for a retest of the hourly bullish high, which will ideally also line up with the, so this is a hanging trend line, which will line up with the 9 EMA or maybe even the trend line even better. And as you trade, you should also be starting to draw these trend lines on your MT4. So I just saw some trend lines on the MT4 and I'm just drawing them right now. Yeah, so I'll remove that trend line indicator unless you guys want me to keep it on. I don't like too many, especially diagonal lines on my chart. All right. Yeah, and you can see volatility is still dying or is slowly dying. Let's see, this is a 528, 544. I was hoping for a bullish hammer candle, but no. Yeah, so this is mostly just a waiting game. So the only thing with taking a sell here is that this is the middle of a channel. So we do have this 30-minute bearish high zone. But remember, just by themselves, I wish there was another bearish zone above it or a previous daily, but just by itself, I don't trade them. And it's also in the middle of this upper trend line and lower trend line. So I need a retest to have like a better probability. But you can enter a sell here if you want, but just be careful and use proper risk management. So gold is taking off. So if it goes up here, at least we know there's a supply zone right here. So this is a small sell zone. So this is a 1946 to 1945. So this is a 5 pip zone. So this might be one of those trades you enter with a big lot size and do like a 10 pip stop loss, right? So you can do, because this is only a 5 pip zone that can easily be broken out. So if price comes here, you can enter with a big lot size and still risk, instead of risking 2% or 1%, you should still be able to risk something like 0.5%. So for example, if you did a 5 lot here on gold and risked 10 pips, so 1965.55 would be around here, and risk 10 pips. So 10 pips stop loss, 10 pips take profit, you should be able to catch a quick 500 from this zone right here. And if that trade hits stop loss and you use the 5 lot with a 10 pip stop loss, that's just on a 200K account, that is only, what is that? 0.25% risk, if I'm not wrong, 500. Yeah, if you lose, yeah, so that would be 0.25%. So that's what I'm gonna do. If gold comes up here, I'll enter with a big lot size, do a 10 pip stop loss, because this zone can easily be broken by gold. But I do expect rejection when gold reaches this zone. So ideally, if that trade lines up, I will make more than I could have made, because I was only entering this trade with a zero, like a 0.125 risk. So for this trade, I would have made what is that? 0.125. But if I win this trade right here with a big lot size, I'll make 0.25. So I would make double this whole trade right here. So that's how I intend to play this. So I intend to go in, risk 0.25% for the sell, but that's only if gold gets up here, which I do see it coming up there. US 30, I see them breaking this 30-minute bearish high. So I'm not really looking for sells for now. I'm not looking for sells at this zone for now. I'm looking to sell at the trend line. There you go. So EU is coming to the trend line. EU, what did I say? EU, I was risking 0.5%. So I'll go to EU. I need a touch of the trend line.
I stepped away. Did you get in that gold buy already?
No. I needed a retest of the hourly bullish high. So that did not happen. So the candle did close bullish and closed above this zone, but no entry for me. Unless somebody took this trade, but personally, I'm waiting for gold down here, which will align with the trend line. EU is the one I'm about to enter, but I need a retest. So actually, I should have just entered at the hourly bearish high, because this is only a difference of 27, like 2 pips. Yeah, so for especially EU, for EU, you don't really have to wait for the retest of the trend line, because mostly like this zone right here, we have an hourly bearish high here. So the distance between the hourly bearish high and the trend line is only like 1 pip or 2 pips. So there's no need for you to miss a 20 pip move just because of 1 or 2 pips. But US 30 and gold is the same way, but US 30, getting in like 5 pips early can definitely mess you up, or 10 pips early. But I do see them breaking this to the upside and coming for the retest. So volume on EU is dying down. And normally when volume dies down this way, especially before news, you normally get a trend that's starting. So today after news, if news is heavy today and we get a trend forming and you guys tried maybe the reversal strategy in case you miss a sell or a buy, go ahead and set your alerts, put on your 9 EMA, set an alert so that you get an alert when price crosses the 9 EMA, and then and only then can you start looking for a reversal. So hopefully if we get that today, we can get a perfect, like yesterday we had a perfect example of how to use alerts to your benefit. But again, still no trade for me. This is a sell zone, but it's again in the middle of this. So personally, or for any official trades, I am not looking to take this. And if our take profit is 50 pips, right? If we're in here, it's not that big of an amount. This is just like 20 pips. So I'm looking for profit to be hit almost instantaneously. So if you guys feel comfortable taking around these areas I've marked up, that's fine. But for me, I'm just gonna wait for the perfect entry. So I see an entry coming up, EU and gold. So I did say gold, if gold comes up here, I'm going for a 10 pip stop loss using a big lot size, risking 0.5%. So if it comes, actually, you know what, for gold, I will set a pending order because this move will happen too fast.
You talking about a pending sell?
Yes, so a pending sell at, so this is 1945.50, 55. So I will set in the middle 1945.8.
Which order block is that? Is that like a weekly high, or which one is that? I wasn't in the beginning of the stream.
Just 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to set this. Just 1 second. I'll answer that. This is 1945.8. That is my sell, pending sell. So I'm only risking 0.5% for this trade, going in with a bigger lot size. Is it 40? Am I tripping? 45.8. 1945.8. Um, $1945.8. Stop loss is 10 pips, so and then take profit 10 pips, so 1:1. So looking for quick in and out. 19. Okay, so that trade is set for me. And there goes price. So no. So if you want a bigger stop loss, just again, if you want a bigger stop loss and risk the same, go ahead and reduce your lot size. EU is headed there. US 30 is still dropping. So let's see what's going to happen here. So this zone, so it's not an order block. It's where order blocks have overlapped in higher time frames. So it's where order blocks have overlapped. Either, I'm pretty sure it's not the daily. It was probably
Look like you just missed it.
Did I get tapped? No, no, and this is so this is the thing with gold, like the same thing I tell you guys, just you don't have to you can do like a few pips below, but yeah, it looks like I just missed it, but it's fine, it's coming back up. So this is where order blocks have overlapped, either on the weekly down to the 30 minutes. I don't think there was any on the weekly today. So maybe it was either 4 hour, 1 hour, or 30 minutes. But I don't draw these supply and demand zones on the 15-minute. Definitely. Yeah, it just missed filling me in by. So this is what I'm talking about, right? 1945 0.4, mine is 0.8, so I just missed it by like 40 cents. But it's fine, it is what it is. Yeah, so gold and EU, just be doing plus or minus 40 cents when I send out a trade. Well, for gold, yeah, plus or minus 40 cents. And for EU, plus or minus 2 or 3 pips. But like I would have been up maybe 0.25%. No, I'm sorry, 0.125% right now. It's fine. So if we there you go, rejection. I was waiting for this by yeah, because I'm looking to play. I see US 30 going up here, retesting the trend line. So I was actually waiting for the retest of this trend line, but it's fine. I can be on every chart at the same time. And there you go. So gold. And some of these trades, so I did say like this zones are once in a, it's quick in and out, but it's still on the chart, right? So on MT4, it's because the MT4 chart is definitely different, but so long as it's still here, that's fine. This zone has not been really tested yet, so long as it's here on my trading view. So trading view is what tells me what to enter or when to enter price or when to enter a trade. But we can definitely see that rejection right there. But according to, if you're looking at MT4, you should have hit take profit on this one. So it is what it is. US 30. So this was a good buy, but I'm looking for the sell up here. And so there is the trade for EU. So I will enter EU. So I am in the EU trade. I was waiting for this retest of the trend line. I'm only risking 0.5%. So 20 pips stop loss, 20 pips take profit. This gold trade. Now the so if gold breaks this, gold is going back up, maybe until FOMC. So that's why I said for this, it's a quick in and out. So I mean EU sell. So this, so this is what I'm talking about, right? Perfect entry. We waited for the retest of the trend line, and guess what? The retest of the trend line aligns with the hourly bearish high. And also we have a supply zone within a supply zone. So I'll just leave that. And there you go, gold melting down. So you'll get some of these trades where the trade leaves without you. So that could have been a quick amount to make. So honestly, at this point, I will delete my gold sell because I've already had that rejection. So if we had set this one at 1945,
Yeah, I already deleted mine.
we would have been in and out of that trade if you're looking at MT4, because my MT4, it literally so I'm gonna go ahead and let me take a quick screenshot of this. I'm gonna delete that order. So for this one, if I do stop share and then I share with you guys, snipping tool. So, right, look at that. This trade, I just missed being filled in by like 20 cents or 10 cents. So yeah, for gold, EU, when
It's
I
weird. It said I got in, but it didn't look like it. But I just closed it and I made 100 something. It's weird though.
yeah,
It didn't say I was in.
Yeah, this is pain, pain right there, but it's fine. This for me, this just shows me that my entries are nice. So that just gives me like more confidence in the future to keep sticking to my strategy, because I think for me as a trader, that's the best thing you can see, that, oh, even though I got missed by like 2 pips, like it means, oh, my entries are perfect. So I just need to keep doing what I'm doing. So that's fine. I deleted that order. the only trade I'm in right now is EU gold. That's fine. That just went. So that could have been a quick 5%. I'm sorry, 0.5%.
I think your US 30 alert just went off. I seen on the screen, I think.
Okay, yeah, so it definitely broke about. So this is what I want. I was waiting to write that. So let's wait for US 30 up here on this trend line to catch a downside move. But this one was the buy. I was anticipating this buy because I was expecting this trend line to be held. But right now, let me focus on US 30. I said I will risk 0.375 on that trade. So 50 pips stop loss, 50 pips take profit. Let's see if anything has shifted. So EU is definitely bearish. So that's good for our EU sell. Gold, I see a bullish momentum. US 30 to me is kind of still, it's becoming bullish because we have the 9 EMA is holding it up, but we have this trend line. So let's see what we get here. US 30. Okay, and US 30 is definitely at trend lines right now on MT4. It's reject. So there's another trend line above here. So there's definitely a trend line up here. I don't think it was identified even by, oh, there, yeah, so there it is. There's a trend line from way back up here. So this lines up with a trend line I have on my MT4. So this is why I tell you guys, when you draw a trend line on MT4, do not delete it. But I still look for this trend line to be retested, the most recent trend line to be retested. There you, gold, come on, gold. The other thing you can be doing with these trades, like for this one, when we say that 1:1, you can set a trailing stop. I think there's a way to do that on MT4, but I haven't really played around with it. But there's a way, if you have a running trade, if you right click on it, you can do trailing stop. I forget the points you need to use. But just you can play around with that so that you can have like a 50 pip take, like for that gold you could have had like a 50 pip take profit with a big lot size, and then you just do trailing stop at like 20 pips or 10 pips. But you just have to play around with the values for that. Yeah, so today I'm definitely being extra cautious. I would rather save my margin for FOMC. So if I don't, so the only trade I'm in right now is EU. It's in some drawdown. And I'm only risking 0.5% on that trade. US 30 literally rejected off of that trend line. That's fine. See, so EU is still going up, so that's fine. If it wants to keep going up, that's so EU definitely has some trend lines to the upside that should hold this trade, hopefully. If it hits stop loss again, it's only a 0.5% risk, so it's really not gonna kill the day. Did I even? Okay, yeah, I did put a take profit on that. This week is a 1943, 1944. It's only a 10 pip wick. So this is a bullish hammer candle, but it's only a 10 pip wick. We do have, okay, bullish hammer candle, golden cross on gold. This right here, if it retests the 9 EMA or the structure, that would be a possible buy on gold. We do have a golden cross on gold on the 5 minute, and price has closed as a bullish hammer candle. So for this trade as well, again, this will go against our EU sell. So I'll delete that sell on gold. So it's either retest of the 9 EMA or the 200 or retest of the structure. The best one for me is retest of the 9 EMA. That's a better entry for me. Again, it's not too big of a difference, 25. So for this one too, I'll be risking what is that? 0.125%. So I will wait for a retest of the 9 EMA. The difference is 74, 43, 74. The difference is 30 cents. Actually, you know what I'll do? This 44.21, 43.21. Give me 1 second. I'm about to check something. Okay. What I'll do here, 20 pip and 20 pip. And then what I'll do is come here, where's gold? I'll go for a 20 pip. So 20 pip stop loss. I'm still risking 0.5% on this trade. So this trade I'll risk 0.5%. Actually, is it 0.5? Because I want to go in with a 2.5 lot size. Stop loss, but I need that retest of the 9 EMA. Because we are starting to have that shift in, so just wait on this. We're starting to have a
Well,
shift.
could I set a pending order at where the 9 EMA is? 'Cause I'm
Yeah,
not gonna
yeah,
be watching.
yeah, you can, because we've started, unless this candle now closes below, we've started to turn bullish on these assets. Everything is going bullish, EU, gold, and US 30. So unless this one comes back down, so give me 1 second. We are going bullish on all of them. I am in a gold buy right now, risking 0.25%, so 20 pip stop loss. And also for this one, we do have that golden cross. So I'm not gonna
Did you
enter.
only
Hmm?
did you only take the golden trade because of the golden cross, or
Golden cross. So ideally golden cross, it's above the trend line, and also we are going bullish on EU and US 30. So these three assets normally move together. So for me, a sell on US 30, this candle has to come back down. But I do see this move to the upside. This assets, like everything, suddenly went bullish. So I'm not gonna look for a US 30 trade for now. Let me manage EU and gold. So keep in mind right now, for gold, I'm looking for a buy. In EU, I'm looking for a sell. I don't want to confuse myself entering another sell. And look at that. That candle closed above the trend line. So right now, I just want to manage these two trades as is. So this buy I'm in right now, I'm only risking 0.25%. So we are ideally kind of in like hedging positions or hedged positions. So there you go, US 30, gold trade, I'm up almost 0.125%. So that's why I did a 2.5 lot on this one. So if I win this trade, I'll be up, how much? I'll be up 0.25 for the day. So that's half my daily target. So that's what I need. And it's coming back to this supply zone right here. So this should be able to hold. We do have the 9 EMA here and the 200 EMA to hold price up. So I do see us closing above this structure and price shooting up. EU, look at EU. EU is retesting this trend line. So I would say, so long as you just risk what I told you guys to risk, you should be fine. But you can see this candle is like testing, almost tested the trend line, but ideally tested the 9 EMA and is closing above. So EU might start a push to the upside. So just watch how those candles move. Okay, let US 30 do whatever it's gonna do. Yeah, nothing coming up for US 30. Yeah, but this buy right here, we just missed that buy down there on the retest of that trend line, because I knew they were gonna come back and break this supply zone. So this is what I'm talking about. This, whether this small supply zones or demand zones, they normally don't hold that for that long. So you normally have one shot and one shot only to take. So for this one, we only had one shot only to take a sell, either here or here, but you can see it's not that big of a movement. Our take profit is 50 pips. This zone is 56.45. This zone is only 10 pips. So you only have one shot to take a sell in this zone, because if price comes back up there, it's going to take off. And that's where I was waiting for a sell on the retest of that trend line, but it's fine. Yes, but for this small supply and demand zones that you see, so I do expect gold to come back up here and rip through this supply zone. I do expect some sort of rejection because it did not test it. On MT4, it did test it, but on TradingView, which is what I use to draw my charts, it did not yet test that zone. So I expect gold to come back up here and reject slightly, but at that point we should be able to hit take profit and then probably come back down slightly and then rip through this sell area because it's only like a 10 pip zone. And yeah, so look at that. So manage EU properly. So remember this trade I only did risk, what was that? I risked 0.5%. This trade I am risking 0.25%. So if this trade wins and this one loses, I will only be down 0.25% for the day. So, you know, that's how I want us to start managing risk. So normally I don't like being in opposite trades of US 30, EU, and gold because ideally they move the same. So that's why I'm not looking to enter any other trade, whether it's US 30 or anything, because I don't want to get confused. So we'll just watch this gold trade for now. So gold is up 10 pips. I really did want to go with a 10 pip stop loss, but the 10 pip stop loss was somewhere around here. So I did not want to get faked out to the bottom and then price to go all the way back up. But that's why I did a 20 pip stop loss. But ideally, I wanted to go with like the trade I had set up here, like 10 pip stop loss, 10 pip take profit, and a 5 lot. Okay, so both trades are playing around our entry point. Okay, so this is good. Price has closed above structure. So this is what we want. Retest the structure and keeps going up. So this is what we want for a buy to hold. So let's just wait. US 30 will probably retest. So US 30 is bullish. Gold is bullish. EU is half and half, in my opinion. But I do see US 30 can retest this trend line and go up. But I am not looking to enter any other trade for now. But we should see some rejection to the upside here. So for any trades here, there's a potential trade, but if I were to enter a buy on the retest of the trend line, but this one I definitely, since I'm already in 2 trades, I don't want to enter on impulse. So I want like some confirmation, but for me to enter any buy here, I would go for like 10 pips or 20 pips take profit. I wouldn't really want to. And there you go. We're already in profit on gold. We are on break even on EU. Yeah, so no need to risk. So look at that. So if you do enter this trade, go for like 20 pips or so. But the best thing this candle can now do is close above this structure because it's already retested the trend line exactly to the pip and then close above that structure. Let's see. So you gold is almost hitting take profit. If we go back, there you go. We just need some more push to the upside. Yeah. Every time I look at US 30, I kind of feel FOMO because that's the instrument I love trading. But, you know, I really don't want to add another position. If anybody has any questions, now is a perfect time to ask. Okay, price is dancing around. So if you guys remember, like when we've traded EU before and just for 20 pips take profit, it's normally hit like profit in like 15 or so minutes. So this is what I was talking about, the market dying before or volatility dying before FOMC. But whatever direction these assets are going to take, they're going to trend to that direction until that point. So trend a little bit and then start consolidating at around noon or 12:30. So remember, on such days as well, you can always, you don't have to make 0.5% every day. So remember, there are days we're able to make 1% or even 1.5% because most of the days, the trades we take, you know, it's between 0.5 and 0.1. So in some of these heavy news days, you can always lower your risk. Either lower your risk or go for like a half profit target. So instead of trying to make 0.5 for the day, you can make 0.25. And then because you know there's news later on during the day, then you can save your margin. And if you see an entry, because there will always be entries. If you see an entry, you can then take it during news. Let me guess. So EU is still coming back down. So definitely a lot of fake outs. And these candles are not even moving like heavy. 603. So yeah, even for today, if we get any US 30 trade, it's just better to go for 20 pips because look at this 602 to 580. This is only a 20 pip move, right? Our take profit is normally 50 pips. So for example, if I drew a short here, just as an example, and we were looking to do ideally what we trade, right? We would still be stuck in the trade. So these candles are not really moving that much. So EU is in profit, gold, and that's why I don't like being in opposite trades. But if you're in any of those trades, with the risk size that I told you guys, you should be at break even. Actually, you should be in slightly profit. If you took EU with the risk that I mentioned, and if you took gold with the risk I mentioned, you should be about, like, for me, between the two trades. Now I'm up both of those trades. Yeah, so just manage your risk properly. So ideally what we are in right now is like hedging positions, because these positions looks like they're moving kind of opposite to each other. Right, I'll just leave the chart on gold now. But then if you look at gold, we do see that it hasn't retested this trend line. So, and our stop loss is literally above the trend line. So also be wary of that. Okay, there you go. Gold is up 10 pips. Yeah, but I'll definitely trade FOMC. If you guys are down to trade FOMC, I can stream that live also. Because I don't think I'll be able to do 0.5% in this live session. US 30 is literally dead. We need this to, at the very least, push up and hit our take profit. Oh, I see people, some messages in the chat. My bad. I always forget to look at the chat. Yeah. Oh, I see everybody saying congrats to Dean. Yeah, Dean. That's a lot of money. I think you also have another 300K MFF, so you might be going what to 900K funded. So that is a lot of money.
Yeah, I'm gonna be starting to FTMO challenges here in the next week probably or so too.
There you go. And I know you also had like I know you're talking something about the 50% candles fair value gaps. So whenever you're down, whether it's today or whatnot, I can give you like control of the screen and you can share and go over it. Like if you have time today, you can do that, because right now there's no trade, and I'm not, after gold and EU, I am not taking any other trade until, and it's almost 11 p.m. So if anybody has anything they want to share with everybody else, I can either allow you to share your screen, or if it's a question, you can go ahead and ask me. So US 30, forget US 30 for now. The only trades we're in, gold is up 15 pips, or was up about 15 pips. Yeah, for this trade, we should have just done the 10 pip stop loss and just been in and out for the day, but just patience for that. Now, the best thing I like about EU is that we have this sell zone or supply zone within a supply zone. So even though, right, our stop loss is only 20 pips, that is not a lot. And we are only risking personally, or what I said to do, risking only 0.5%. So we are protected by the high of this sell zone within a sell zone, also this supply zone, and also our stop loss is still above this supply zone. So if we do get EU pushing and breaking this strong supply zone here and breaking this other supply zone here, we might be getting a push up all the way to 1.0850, because we also do have a daily bullish high. So keep in mind, we have a daily bullish high, daily bullish low area. I don't know, did I delete that? Maybe I did. So we do have a buy zone here. for EU. So not to forget that. Settings. Yeah, so we are also in a buy zone for EU. It's just that I don't want to have this. This is just, it's just messing with the chart. So I'll just put it here to the side. So we're in a buy zone, but we do have a sell zone within a sell zone. I don't think this was a daily order block overlap. So this daily bullish high and daily bullish low are probably more preferential than this sell zone. And there you go. Gold is almost hitting take profit for 20 pips. There you go, full TP on gold. Yeah, that trade just took forever. So if we recap that trade, why did we enter? And you can see they'll blast through this, or maybe reject a little bit, but full TP on gold. I'm not going to try and catch that sell. So right now is when my sell could have been filled in. And look at that, they're going to blast through, or maybe you have a rejection. So the reason I took a buy on gold, we had what did we have? We had the golden cross that formed, the 9 EMA crossing the 200 EMA to the upside. And then we had this bullish hammer candle that formed. So ideally, the perfect entry, or the entry would have been here. But remember, bullish hammer candles on gold and EU, I do not enter instantaneously. And there you go. If you had that stop, you'd have been stopped out. So I did say it's going to come, and there you go. God, you would have been still in the trade. You could have survived, but remember, I always, so where do we enter a trade? Personally, bullish hammer candles on gold and EU, I do not enter on impulse or after the close of that hammer candle, because gold and EU normally aren't as volatile as US 30, and our take profit hits quicker on US 30 as opposed to gold and EU. But so our first entry was here, but for me that wasn't an optimal entry. But then I loved how the bullish hammer candle retested the golden cross that just formed, retested the 200 EMA, the 9 EMA, and then closed above this structure. So the next entry was a retest of the structure. What structure was that? This higher high, right? That was the next entry. But for me, I love the perfect entry, the most optimal entry. Sure, that would have been a retest of the trend line, but we do have a golden cross, and what a golden cross does, the 200 EMA normally acts as a floor for price, right? So that's what actually supports price. When you have the opposite, the which is the death cross, also the 200 EMA still acts as resistance for the price. So here, the perfect entry was a retest of the 9 EMA. So that's why we entered that trade right here, I believe. So this closed. When did we enter? Let me do undo. Nope. Was it there?
Swear I gotta stop getting out of trade so early.
Yeah. Wait, undo. Yeah, that was a trade. So we entered this candle, retested, closed above. We waited for the next candle. So the 9 EMA hadn't been formed here, I think, because the 9 EMA is lagging. So we waited for a retest of the 9 EMA, and then we entered that trade straight into TP. Normally, our take profit for gold is 50 pips, stop loss 50 pips, take profit. But for this one, because I was going with a larger lot size, I said I'm only risking 0.25%. I only need 0.5% a day to pass phase one of any challenge in 2.5 weeks. But if you went with our normal risk, you could have hit. So I only went for a smaller TP because it's a news day and I was expecting volatility to die down. But on an ordinary day, our take profit is 50 pips, our stop loss is 50 pips. So full TP on that. What's happening with EU? I see I'm in slight drawdown on EU. So I mean, that's fine. Again, I told you guys it's being held by this zone, not to say it's gonna hold. Also check the the trend line was retested and closed above. So but I did say I'm still holding on to this trade. If I hit stop loss on this trade, I'll just be down 0.25 for the day. And that's I can work with that. So right now I'm up 0.5 for the day. Is it 0.5? No, 0.25. Yeah, so custom period. I need to get used to using these percentages, because as much as we are making money here, doing these calculations is something I need to get used to. Yeah, so I am up 0.25 for the day. So that's fine. I'll let this run. So right now you can start considering this trade. So right now, if you take a loss here, you'll just be at break even for the day, because this trade is now at minus 10 pips. So if you close the loss right here and you just took this gold trade with me, you should be just break even for the day. And then if you want to wait for FOMC, well and good. Okay, so let's see where gold is likely to go, right? So let's analyze gold. Because for FOMC, I think it's better to trade EU and gold. So we did have this daily. So we have this hourly bullish high, hourly bullish low. So we were waiting for the entry down here, but you know, patience just gave us another entry up here. So gold rejected from this demand zone exactly. Even earlier on, one of the candles tested the bottom of this demand zone to the pip right there exactly and shot up. So where is gold headed to next? Gold, in my opinion, is headed to, and I don't think so. You see where this zone is, this supply zone around the 15-minute bearish low and bearish high. Why do I have the 15-minute bearish low above the 15-minute bearish high? Well, I guess it's opposite. That's my bad. But you see where this supply zone is? It's on the neckline. So this is the hourly candle, right? So it's on the neckline of the not inverted. It's on the neckline of the head and shoulder pattern. So if I reset this, you can see the head and shoulder, head, left shoulder, right shoulder here. So this supply zone is at the neckline. So if I extend this, look at where that is. So I would be looking at a sell of gold around the neckline, which is between 1969, or call that 1970, and 1965. I would be looking for gold to come here, and this will probably happen during FOMC. So FOMC today, I will set a couple of pending orders, but the only thing is that during such volatility, some of these pending orders do not get filled because of slippage. So I expect gold to do that and come back to 1918. So that's where the completion of structure will be. So that's what I expect for gold to do. So let gold just do whatever it wants to do. I don't know where I drew. Oh, this is the line that I drew. It's not a trend line. US 30. Yeah, honestly, I do not see anything with US 30. So this is the first time it's closing below this trend line. And it looks like it wants to close below the 9 EMA, but you can see there's a lot of buyers here. Now, if we do get a bullish hammer candle here, 58 to 7, it's still 20 pips, so it's not a lot of volume. But if we do get a bullish hammer candle here, this should be a buy. It would be a risky buy because remember, for me, a bullish hammer candle or an inverted bearish hammer candle, the wick needs to be 30 pips and over. So the only trade we're in, looks like it might hit stop loss. If that happens, that's fine. We managed risk properly. I'll still leave it. But you know, I do see now. The only thing is if we get a higher low. If a higher low establishes, if this establishes as a higher low, I might just close this trade out early. But I'm willing to be down 0.25% for the day. So remember, if you survive days like this, FOMC, NFP, CPI, you're doing much better than a lot of traders, because a lot of traders are not able to survive such heavy news days. So remember, we get the news released at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So not a lot of volatility happens, or sometimes it does, and then the market quiets down. But then the real FOMC move comes after 2:30, because that's when the Fed will be talking about all these decisions they've made. So they can increase the federal funds rate, which I believe is the rate. Let's see what it is. I think I remember. overnight. Yeah. So interest rate at which depository institutions lend balances held at the Federal Reserve to other depository institutions overnight. So I don't know if it's the same as the intra-bank rate, so the rate at which banks lend each other, but that's what that is. So during the conference, that's when they talk about why they made these decisions, what they expect going forward. So the real FOMC move comes after 2:30, not really 2 p.m. 2 p.m. you have a lot of fake outs here and there, but 2:30, that's when you get the nice move. What time is it? It's 10:56. Does anybody have any questions now? Also, do you guys want to stream FOMC live today? Personally, I'll be trading whether I stream it or not.
What time you gonna go live for that?
So I will go live at 5 minutes before 2. So remember, for us, I do not trade. So for us to trade news, we wait for the first 5-minute candle to close. So we don't take any. If we do see a trade, or personally, if I see a trade, I will take a trade at 2:15 p.m. because I need the 2:05 candle, the news candle, to close. I need then the 2:05 to 2:10 candle to close in order to see the direction. So if I do take any trade, I will take it either at 2:15 or I will take it at 2:45. So, but I'll start streaming at 1:50.
Yeah, I'll be here.
Okay. I'll start streaming at 1:55 p.m. today then. Is anybody else available for FOMC?
What time is it again? Gonna be Central Time again?
So it's 1:55 Eastern Standard Time. I don't know. So
Gonna be 12:55. Yeah. I will be available. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be available as well.
Okay,
Beautiful.
perfect. US 30, it's calling my name, but I do not want to answer that call. I will just leave this trade as is. Because we did have this sell right here, close below the trend line. We have like whatever retest, but again, I do not want to force any trades. So I'll see you guys at 2 p.m. Again, if we trade today for FOMC, we will be risking, max, I want us to be risk 0.5%, so that if this trade hits stop loss for us and we are down 0.25 for the day, if we do hit stop loss on 2 trades during FOMC, we're only down 1%. So my goal is to not lose anything more than 2% within a day. So if my trades hit 2% in one day, then I just wait for the new day to come up. So other than that, I'll see you guys. So right now we took gold, full TP on gold. EU is in drawdown about 15 pips. So we only took 2 trades, US 30, let it just play out the way it wants to. Other than that, unless anybody has any other questions, I'll see you guys today for FOMC. All right.
Thank you, bro.
All right. Bye, guys.
All right.